and the shooter is reportedly down. CNN is reporting that at least 2 detainees were shot at the Dallas ICE facility. Hold on, I just saw an update here. So there's breaking news here. I just saw an update. So we're going to bring you live breaking news coverage. Christy Noam posted 6 minutes ago, and Christy Noam said, hang on, I'm going to show you here. She said, there was a shooting this morning at the Dallas ICE government field office. Details are still emerging, but we can confirm there were multiple injuries and fatalities. The shooter is deceased by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. While we don't know motive yet, we know that our ICE law enforcement is facing unprecedented violence against them. It must stop. Let's please pray for the victims and their families. Reportedly, the shooter was shooting from a nearby building, possibly a roof. But we are bringing you live coverage here. I'm hoping to have some video for you in a second here. So give me a moment. I'm just getting on the air and just getting organized, hoping to get some video for you soon that I have the rights to show you. So again, that is the post there from Christy Noam. And the shooter is dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Let me also get on the screen. I'm going to show you a map of where this is. And let me also put up the ticker. Multiple people have been shot at the Dallas ICE field office. The shooter is dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Okay. Hang on one moment here. Details coming out about this incident. Okay, give me a moment. Give me a moment here. We may go back and listen to, when we get a chance, we might go back and listen to earlier scanner traffic if I can pull it up. Again, multiple shot at the Dallas ICE office. The shooter is dead. CBS News Texas reports 3 people in critical condition. CBS News Texas reports 3 people are in critical condition. Here is what AP is reporting. Oops, I'll show you in a second. 3 people shot at immigration detention facility in Dallas, and the shooter is dead, officials said. 3 people have been shot at an immigration and U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement detention facility in Dallas, and the shooter is dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons confirmed the shooting during an interview on CNN Wednesday. It could be employees. It could be civilians that were visiting the facility. It could be detainees. Lyons said of those who were shot at this point, we're still working through that. Give me a moment here. CNN reports at least 2 detainees were shot. CNN, at least 2 detainees were shot at the Dallas ICE field office. All right, hang on a moment. Hang on a moment here. I'm going to show you on a map where this is right now. (8101) North Stemmons Freeway. Let me show you what this looks like. You can see a map right here. Hang on. It's right here, right next to the I-35E. U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement field office. Again, I'm awaiting a live shot of some sort. Hang on one moment. Oh, Fox News says no ICE agents shot or hurt. Fox News right now says no ICE agents shot or hurt. That is being reported right now by Fox News. No ICE agents shot or hurt. Now, I don't know who was intent. The person was. I don't know what the motive is. So there's the question of who was shot, and there's the question of why the person was shooting. Who were they trying to shoot? I have no idea. So I just want to caution you on that as well. Is that who was shot and who was intended to be shot are two different questions. Give me one moment here. Thanks for your patience. Okay. So CNN is reporting that 2 detainees were shot. Fox News is saying that no. Fox News says victims are ICE detainees. Fox News, victims are ICE detainees. So again, Fox News is saying that victims are ICE detainees. Hold on. Give me a moment. I'm seeing another report too. Let me see if I can. So Fox is reporting that the people shot were ICE detainees. CNN is reporting that at least 2 people shot were ICE detainees, people that they have captured and bring in, okay? And Fox News says no ICE agents were shot or hurt. So was this person targeting detainees? Also, CNN says no ICE officers were injured in the attack. CNN says shooting motive remains unknown. All ICE officers are accounted for. Breaking news. NBC News is saying 2 detainees killed, 1 hospitalized. NBC News says 2 detainees killed, 1 hospitalized at ICE office in Dallas. I'm looking at it right now. That's on MSNBC headline. Oops, sorry. You know what? Look what happened here. I rushed on the air so fast, my shirt was messed up. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I just rushed to get on the air as fast as I could, and I didn't even notice that. Sorry about that. 2 detainees killed, 1 hospitalized, according to MSNBC. So Fox says it was all detainees shot. If I have that right. Well, Fox said yes. Fox said the victims are detainees. MSNBC said, I'm quoting here their headline, 2 detainees killed, 1 hospitalized. And CNN reports that no ICE agents were that no ICE officers were injured in the attack. Okay, so multiple reports say that no ICE officers were shot. Is it true that the victims are all detainees? Was the person targeting detainees? And was it targeting detainees? One of our viewers was suggesting it could be a gang attack or something. So there is the possibility that somebody was specifically targeting specific people. That's a whole other question. Was somebody targeting specific people for a specific reason? That I don't know. Let me put on my headline. Fox News and CNN report that no ICE agents were shot. Fox News says the victims are all detainees. MSNBC says 2 detainees have been killed. Okay. Reuters reports right here. You can see here, they say the shooter was found dead on the roof of a nearby building. ICE acting director Todd Lyons says preliminary information is a possible sniper. Kristi Noem said there were multiple injuries and fatalities and the shooter is dead. Now, she said the obsessive attack on law enforcement, particularly ICE, must stop. So far, Fox is saying that the victims are all ICE detainees and that no officers have been hit. Both CNN and Fox are saying no ICE officers were hit.
Yeah, and Lauren, I wanted to respond to that. First of all, I did hear Sean Rabb reporting that the shooter was on top of a building near this ICE facility, which is just a catty corner from where I'm standing. You see a couple of Dallas police vehicles there blocking that entrance. I tried to walk up closer and get a better view, and you really can't see anything beyond that point. They have it all closed and blocked off right now. There are several law office, immigration law offices here in this immediate area. We're standing in the parking lot of one of them, and I heard Sean say that the shooter, they believe, was standing on the roof of one of those law offices. And my photojournalist, David Tafoya, who I'm working with this morning, said, yeah, but if it was the one where we were standing, it would probably be blocked off right now. We wouldn't be able to just pull in and park here and set up our camera. But we do see down the way a couple of other law offices. So there are quite a few buildings where that shooter may have been standing. And we're trying to determine exactly where that may have been. You also mentioned the mayor coming out here to the scene. And I will say, we don't want to speculate on anything, but we did see several SUVs, unmarked dark SUVs pulling into the scene here at this ICE detention facility. So seemed to be someone who was coming in to be briefed on the situation. I know that, Hannah mentioned this is such a large coordinated effort. We see ATF here on scene. We see Dallas police. We've seen several agencies here throughout the morning. Dallas Fire just had a fire truck here a few moments ago that just pulled away. And so it is a very large coordinated effort. All of those agencies have to communicate with one another. They have to get together and brief each other and communicate before they can have that press conference. We see this a lot with breaking news when there's a massive incident or a shooting that happens. They want to all get their ducks in a row. They want to communicate with each other before they're able to relay that information with all of the media. I know Peyton has been standing by waiting for that news conference, which was initially said to be at 9 a.m. Of course, it's been pushed later and later, which is typical in these kinds of evolving situations where everyone wants to make sure they are clear on the facts before they give that over to us. So right now, we just see police here securing the scene. They did have this road open at one point. They were letting traffic through, letting people in. They have since closed it again, and it is only police, only authorized vehicles allowed in. We've seen marked and unmarked vehicles pulling into this area and driving through, talking to the officers here as they block that area and block that parking lot to the ICE detention facility here behind us. Morning, Brandon.
Shannon, thanks. We appreciate the information as we move toward the top of the hour now. We just kind of want to recap and give you the information that we received from Dallas.
Area, the media staging area for this shooting situation at an ICE facility from earlier this morning. We do not have any information updates other than what we've already given you, that it was a shooter from the roof who died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We don't have what building that shooter was on. There is an apartment complex next to it. There's Schlotsky's next to it. There's a lot of different businesses around this area. We do know that the shooter was shooting at detainees. We don't know if they were targeted. We don't know if that was the intended target. We do know 2 of those ICE detainees, though, were killed, shot and killed. And we do know the other person is wounded. So it looks like something is going on here. This might just be setting up their mobile unit, which might be where officers are going to go under. I mean, it's been pouring rain all morning, so just kind of keep in mind that we're all huddled together in this area. There's more media here that I've seen probably ever in Dallas so far. I mean, this is a very, very active situation. Okay, they just told us they're doing the presser under this awning. So I'm wondering if people are going to move up or if everyone is going to stay in their spot. This might be kind of a mad dash to move. We haven't been given a time frame of when exactly this is happening, other than it's now moving about a few feet up. Hey, they're moving the presser up right now. They're putting it under the awning. So we are all unplugging to move equipment. I don't have a time frame though.
So gravity is wrong.
We just are going to be unplugged.
Canadian news. Let me pause this real quick.
For a second.
So gravity is wrong. Says Canadian news already have the shooter's Facebook. He's MAGA with a cross and swastika tattoo hunting illegals. 2 ICE agents were killed. Government.
Every shooting and school shooting that has taken place, even the president shooting, so-called president shooting, even the guy that shot the Kirk dude, they're all Republicans. They're not Democrats. They're not ever Democrats. They're all lefties.
Wow.
We might be unplugged for a second. Okay. Where is Noonie? Okay, I'm gonna head out. Thanks for watching, guys, and please keep updated with Fox 4. They moved. They're moving it up there. I don't know. I would just get your tripod, Noonie. This is the biggest shit show I've ever seen. I've never seen them not. No. Also, we're waiting on the mayor. Why isn't the mayor here? I thought the mayor was going to be in this spot. Me too. No, me too. Are we? Do you want me to move them? What is going on here? What is going on here? Literally. No, it's all plugged in though. They're gonna have to take their mics before we move it. Because I mean, all of them are just gonna be tap. I was gonna say, I don't know what we're supposed to do about that. I need to find Noonie. Oh wait. Oh, do you have a spot? We're right here, Noonie.
So Freedom Forecaster, a sniper just sniped 3 people on the at the ICE facility in Dallas.
Who? Yeah, like we could squat and ask questions, Noonie. We don't have to be standing here.
3 detainees to be exact, and apparently they're saying that the Canadian media said. I'm not sure if that's true. What's the what's the name? Gravity is wrong. Just said. I'm not sure. I have to like look that into that, but yeah, she's saying that they're saying they found them. I don't know if that's true or not. Why is everyone so focused on what the shooter was or wasn't? I think that preoccupation is coming because people are trying, because, there's like this whole battle between left and right, which is ridiculous. People are shot. Who cares if it's MAGA or not?
What? Okay.
I just was reading what the person said in the comments, sir. I'm not reporting anything. I'm reading a comment. See this person? Gravity is wrong. She said Canadian news already has the shooter's Facebook. He's MAGA with a cross and swastika. I don't know how true this is. I just read a comment, okay? So Marky Mark, relax. No, I'm not. Do you see this comment right here? I just read the comment. If you don't like it, leave. I'm reading your comments. I'm putting your comments up here. So I'm allowing whoever. No, listen. You're about to get blocked. Say something else stupid because I'm even addressing what you're saying. I just put that person's comment up there. I'm being fair in what people are saying, and I'm letting the audience have their say about what they think is going on. So cut it out.
As soon as I have a live shot that I can show you, of the area, I will show it to you. I don't have that yet. I'm expecting to get something I can show you. Okay.
Okay, Mark. Before I tell you to leave, I'm not a Democrat, and if you're too wrapped up into this whole MAGA versus the left thing, and Democrats versus Republican, when there are people who are deceased right now, you have to go. Okay. I didn't move it. Nightbot removes stuff. I don't remove comments. Nightbot removes it. I have a bot. So, okay, bye. Peace, Mark. This is not. People have passed on. We are not going to sit here and go fighting about whether it's right or left. I just read a comment. I'm reading everyone's comments. This is a really sad thing. This happened in Dallas. People are passed away. 3 detainees were shot. We're not sure who did it. And I'm getting the news just like everybody else is.
According to the New York Times, Tricia McLaughlin of Homeland Security told Fox News that no agents were shot. She said a law enforcement was not injured. Yeah, I don't know if the shooter was targeting particular people. One of our viewers raised the possibility that the shooter didn't know who they were shooting at. Like, as I said, Who was shot and who was the shooter trying to shoot are two different questions. MSNBC claims that two detainees were killed, and they said one hospitalized. Trying to get the latest updates here. At least 3 shot. I'm going to say at least 3 shot because that's multiple reports say that.
So I'm watching this while I'm waiting on the press conference about
But
the
this
show.
is still news is still coming out about this.
I mean, yes, ma'am. He did self-delete.
No, I have not seen a press conference yet or anything. This is the ICE field office in Dallas, Texas. The ICE field office in Dallas, Texas. That is where this happened. The shooter was, one report says the shooter was found on a nearby rooftop. This isn't, this was quite early as well. Hang on, oops. Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. All right, so we're bringing you the latest coverage here. At least 3 people, according to multiple reports, have been shot at the Dallas ICE field office. You can see right there, 3 people shot at immigration facility in Dallas, and the shooter is dead, officials said. 3 people have been shot. It's at the ICE field office in Dallas. The shooter is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, the agency's director said. Fox is saying all shot were detainees. Fox News. CNN also says that no ICE agents were shot. 6:41 a.m. The Dallas fire. This is how early this was. The Dallas Fire Rescue Department was dispatched at 6:41 a.m. After a call reporting a shooting at or near the immigration office. Said the department spokesman Jason L. Evans. He said he didn't have any confirmed details, calling it an active and ongoing incident. Wow. So AP says, says, how to put this? First responders were dispatched to the Dallas ICE shooting at 6:41 a.m. local time, reports AP. That's early, obviously. I mean, 6:41 a.m. Reportedly, the shooting was first reported around 6:41 a.m. local time. Breaking news. NBC News reports 2 ICE. This is from Tom Winter, NBC News. This is the report I saw on MSNBC. Tom Winter, NBC News, and MSNBC are both reporting 2 ICE detainees are dead and a 3rd wounded in the hospital. Okay, so NBC News, just to confirm, I told you it was in their headline. Well, Tom Winter from NBC News is reporting it as well. And Gabe Gutierrez from NBC News. 2 ICE detainees are dead and a 3rd wounded. So multiple outlets say the victims are detainees. Oh, Dallas Police has posted about this. We got a post from Dallas Police. AZ Intel, thanks for the heads up that Dallas Police has posted about this. Let me show you what the Dallas Police Department said. Here, this is from Dallas Police. Hold on. On September 24th, 2025, at about 6:40 a.m., Dallas Police responded to an assist officer call in the 8100 block of North Stemmons Freeway. The preliminary investigation determined a suspect opened fire at a government building from an adjacent building. 2 people were transported to the hospital with gunshot wounds. 1 victim died at the scene. The suspect is deceased. Okay, breaking news. The shooting happened around 6:40 a.m. local time. The shooter opened fire from a nearby from the roof from an adjacent building. So 3 shot. That's what they're saying. They're saying 3 shot and the victim shot himself. Assuming it's a he. Again, we don't know the motive. We don't know if the shooter was targeting detainees or targeting particular people. We just don't know right now. Again, NBC News is reporting that 2 ICE detainees are dead and a 3rd is wounded in the hospital. I don't know yet when the press conference will be. This happened around 6:40 a.m. Oh, AZ Intel says that the New York Post has an update. Thanks, AZ Intel, for mentioning that. Okay, yes. The New York Post says at least 3 detainees have been killed. That's what New York Post claims. They said the New York Post says that at least 3 immigrants were hit as they were being led into the facility to be processed.
So while we're watching this, I'm waiting on the press conference, guys. That's about to start in a few minutes. So that's why we're watching him. So just.
So let me. So the New York Post says, the New York Post claims that they were being led into an ICE facility, led into the facility. That's what the New York Post says. I can't confirm that. Thanks to AZ Intel for the heads up about that. So multiple reports say that the people shot were that the victims were all detainees. Well, we're going to go back when I get a moment, we're going to go back and maybe listen to the scanner replay. I mean, right now the shooter is confirmed dead, and the victims are so I don't have the scanner on right now because the incident is not an active incident right now. The shooter is dead. But I will shortly go back and replay the shooter. We're going to replay some of the scanner traffic. And the shooter has been dead for a bit. I mean, when we came on the air, the shooter had already been reported dead. Oh, I don't even, by the way, I don't even know what kind of scanner traffic I have access to be honest. There is a Dallas City Police one though, but not many people are listening to it. I'll have to go back and check it out.
All right, so they're about to do the press conference. So just wait and play this. Here we go.
That I'm a person who believes very, very strongly in the power of prayer, and that prayer changes things. And so I'm going to ask everyone, please join me in praying for the families of the folks who lost their lives today. Pray for the speedy recovery for those who are hurt and were injured in what happened today. But maybe even more to the point, we're a country and a city that needs prayer. So I'm going to ask you all to join me also in praying for this city, that we can come together at a time like this, and that we can be there for one another the way we always have in times like this, to support one another, help us all get through this very difficult time, not just in our city, but in our country. And that's why I'd ask you to pray for our nation. There's a lot going on right now in our country. A lot of it's confusing. It's a scary time. I've got children. I've got 3 young children. And I'm here to tell you that it is challenging to explain to them what's going on in our country right now. But I said before, and I'll say it again, I believe in the power of prayer to change things. And it can change the hearts of people. It can change this country. It can change the city. So please pray for everyone who was affected by today's tragedy. I also want to say thank you to the Dallas Police Department, and say thank you to the Dallas Sheriff's Department, Dallas County Sheriff's Department, Texas Department of Public Safety, and all of our various federal law enforcement partners who acted so quickly today to make sure that today's tragedy wasn't worse than what it was. So on behalf of the city of Dallas, I want to say thank you to all of you. And you're going to hear from some of those folks later, but I want to let you know that we appreciate what you all do, not just today, but every day, to help keep us all safe. And lastly, and this is really important, I would ask all of the city of Dallas residents who can hear me right now, let's be patient, let's remain calm, and let's let our law enforcement partners, our police department, do their job. This is an active investigation. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. And I want to encourage all of you to exercise a little bit of restraint and allow them to do their job to help make sure this continues to be a safe city, and that they can help us figure out what happened here today. But with that, I want to say, again, thank you to all the folks who came out this morning from our law enforcement community. I'll turn it over to our Police Chief Daniel Como to speak a little bit more directly to the investigation itself. And with that, Chief Como, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Today at approximately 6:40 a.m., we received a assist the officer call. We responded to the call, got to the scene, and we later learned that we had 4 individuals that were shot, 2 of them deceased, including the shooter. The DPD was able to locate the shooter who was deceased. We're going to be working this investigation shoulder to shoulder with our federal partners. The FBI is on scene, and right now I'm going to introduce you to the SAC of the Dallas Field Division, FBI Joe Rumrock.
Yeah, good morning. My name's Joe Rothrock. I'm the special agent in charge of the Dallas FBI Field Office. I want to first start by thanking our partners in local law enforcement, specifically the Dallas Police Department, for their quick and timely response. I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence. It is unfortunately just the most recent example we've seen of targeted violence, to include here in North Texas, where back on July 4th, we saw a coordinated attack carried out against an immigration detention center in Alvarado, Texas. What I can also share with you is that early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature. Again, this is just the most recent example of this type of attack. This will be a whole of government response. There will be no resource not utilized to bring all those individuals who are responsible to bring them to justice and to hold them accountable. While we're not releasing identities of any victims at this time, what I can confirm for you is no members of law enforcement were hurt during this attack. If any member of the public has information that would help the FBI's investigation, I would ask that you please report that to 1-800-CALL-FBI. Again, any piece of information will be helpful, but this will be an ongoing investigation between us, a number of federal partners, and our local partners, again, to ensure that anyone responsible is held accountable. With that, I will turn it over to my counterpart from the ICE Enforcement and Removal Office.
Good morning. My name is Joshua Johnson. I'm the acting field office director for ICE Dallas. I'll be brief with my comments, but I do want to start off by saying thank you to the Dallas Police Department, Dallas FBI, HSI, CBP, ATF, and virtually every law enforcement officer in North Texas for your support. This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities. And I think that the takeaway from all of this is that the rhetoric has to stop. There are people out there who are seeing what is being placed online, and they're coming and they're doing acts of violence against ICE employees. So that's kind of all I have for today, is that it's just got to stop. It's dangerous, and people are losing their lives. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Again, thank you all so much. As it was said here today, if you do have any information, reach out to 1-800-CALL-FBI.
That's it?
Thank you.
That's it? Oh, Senator Griffin.
This needs to stop. Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong. It was 2 weeks ago today that we saw a political assassination in Utah that tore the heart out of much of this country. This is the third shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP. This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop. To every politician demanding that ICE agents be doxxed and calling for people to go after their families, stop. This has very real consequences. Look, in America, we disagree. That's fine. That's the democratic process. But your political opponents are not Nazis. We need to learn to work together without demonizing each other, without attacking each other. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the brave men and women of law enforcement. I want to say thank you to the brave men and women of ICE and CBP and everyone who puts their lives on the line to keep us safe. The divisive rhetoric tragically has real consequences. I hope that every one of us will pray, number one, for the safety of law enforcement that are risking their lives to keep us safe. Number two, for the health of those who were shot and injured today. We still don't know the full details of who was injured, but for the families also of the victims of this shooting. Violence has no place. It is wrong. And we should come together. If we want to have a debate about immigration policies, we can do so in the halls of Congress without demonizing each other, and especially without demonizing the men and women who every day put on a badge and go risk their lives to keep us safe. And we should not be putting language out there that inspires madmen to commit evil crimes. Our prayers are with the men and women of law enforcement, and we ought to come together and have some decency across the political aisle to say this violence is wrong and it needs to stop.
Senator, have you been told that immigrant detainees were the victims of today's shooting?
My understanding is the details of who the victims are still being ascertained, so I don't want to go ahead of law enforcement releasing these details. What they have said is that no law enforcement was injured, and so that's a natural inference, but I don't know the details.
So I'm not going to go into any more details at this time. We will come back to you when we have more details to share. Again, our goal here will be transparency as those details become available, but we are still in the early stages of an investigation. Information is still coming in. When we have more details, we will come back to this group. I'm not going to be identifying victims at this time. The only thing I will confirm at this time is no law enforcement was injured. Certainly, you can respect law enforcement's need to make notifications. At this point in time, we're not going to take any additional questions from law enforcement. Again, I'd ask for you to respect the fact that this is an ongoing investigation. And as more details come available,
we're not asking for the names of the victims.
I understand. I will.
The victims are the detainees.
The only thing I can say right now is no law enforcement was injured this morning as part of the attack. I won't be taking any more questions. Neither will law enforcement this time. We'll come back to you later today.
So other than law enforcement,
you felt this a targeted attack. You know you.
So, a couple things. First of all, that was a bit strange there because they would not confirm the victims were detainees, but they said no law enforcement was injured. So that was a bit confusing. Look, so we just heard 3 people were shot, and no law enforcement was injured, but officials, the FBI said that evidence from the rounds had anti-ICE messaging on them, which seems to mean that maybe the bullets had anti-ICE messaging. It wasn't entirely clear. But I don't. It was a little strange that they wouldn't say who was shot because they did say it was not law enforcement. You'd think that they. I mean, I'm sure they know who was shot. So that was a bit confusing. Give me a second here. So again, what they said is that there was. This is being investigated as a targeted shooting. They said there were 3 people shot and the shooter. I have to, I'm going to probably go back and play it again. But they said that there was anti-ICE messaging. They suggest it's. He said the evidence from the rounds included anti-ICE messaging, basically something like that. So I I got to go back and see. I want to confirm the information that they said, because there's been so much reporting today, and I forget. Oh, hold on a second, guys. Kash Patel. There's a new post from Kash Patel. Breaking news. New post from Kash Patel. Look at this. It says, he says the bullet says anti-ICE on it. Oh my gosh. New post from Kash Patel. Here we go. Let me show you right here. Breaking news. Breaking news from Kash Patel. He says, this morning, just before 7 a.m., local time, an individual fired multiple rounds at a Dallas, Texas ICE facility, killing one, wounding several others before taking his own life. While the investigation is ongoing, an initial review of the evidence shows an ideological motive behind the attack. See photo below. One of the unspent shell casings was engraved with the phrase anti-ICE. More updates will be forthcoming. So that is apparently one of the, again, the Kash Patel says one of the unspent shell casings was engraved with the phrase anti-ICE. That's what I'm just reading you his post. He says these despicable, politically motivated attacks against law enforcement are not a one-off. We are only miles from Prairie Land, Texas, where just 2 months ago, an individual ambushed a separate ICE facility and targeting their officers. It has to end, and the FBI and our partners will lead these investigative efforts to see to it that those who target our law enforcement are pursued and brought to the fullest extent of justice. Thankfully, no law enforcement personnel were injured. Please pay for the injured and deceased. So multiple reports have said that all the people shot were detainees. I have not seen a single, I don't know why this is going on. None of the official pronouncements have said that the people shot were detainees. So, but both Kash Patel in the press conference said no law enforcement was shot. So I don't know why they're not saying that the people shot were detainees. Anyways, though, Kash Patel says this is a photo of unspent shell casings, and one of them was engraved with the phrase anti-ICE. That's what he says. Was there writing on the other shell casings that were fired? Also, something else I'm wondering is, where was this found, like on the roof where the person was supposedly shooting from, or on the ground? I don't know. Yeah, and also, is it, one of our viewers said that looks like it's written, not engraved. So some of our viewers are expressing skepticism over the writing on the casing that Kash Patel just posted. But Kash Patel said it's engraved. Some of our viewers say it's a pen. It is being investigated as targeted violence, this shooting. You know, in a moment, I'm going to replay the press conference again because I want to hear specifically what was said. But that post came out right after the press conference. Right after the press conference ended, he posted that. Kash Patel. Is that the only round that had messaging on it? Was the only message anti-ICE? OK says nobody says anti-ICE on the left. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a strange message. But I mean, and I don't know if that's the only one that says it. So I'll wait and see when we, to hear more. Jesse says it's a very bizarre way to phrase it. Doesn't mean it's not legit. Now, it looks like this is this writing or is that water? Now, maybe that's just water. I don't know. It's also a bit odd that, well, it's just interesting timing that they don't mention this in the press conference and then literally right after the press conference, this gets posted. But maybe we'll get more information in the coming minutes. All right, hang on a moment here. I think I want to go back and just show you again what was said in the press conference informationally. So let's take a look at that again. Here's what I'm going to do. Hold on. Let's go to the press conference again. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll just play the update, the official update that was given at the press conference. If you bear with me for a second here. Okay, I have it queued up. I have it queued up here. Bear with me. I'm putting it on the screen right now for you. Why is that like this? Hold on. Where's this? Okay, so I'm going to right now show you moments ago what the officials said. Just take a minute and listen again to what the officials said about this so you can hear it again. Here we go. Oh, before I do that, really quick, a quick thanks to 32 Antoine, Sydney, Howard Lintz, Leon Yoder, Festiva, Abby, Kane 827, Mitchell Pilot, 1400-pound Devon, Chris D, Pete, Denim Donuts, Sounds Epic Music, Iroquois, YKA, I Am Charlie, Anna Metallica, Genius by Birth, Sandra M, Crazy Yoda, Crypto King. Thank you. And also Larry Pickle Jar and Who Shot JR, Gonzalez, Grantastic Granny over on Twitch. Thank you. All right. Here is what was just said moments ago.
Today at approximately 6:40 a.m., we received a assist the officer call. We responded to the call, got to the scene, and we later learned that we had 4 individuals that were shot, 2 of them deceased, including the shooter. The DPD was able to locate the shooter who was deceased. We're going to be working this investigation shoulder to shoulder with our federal partners. The FBI is on scene, and right now I'm going to introduce you to the SAC of the Dallas Field Division, FBI Joe Rumrock.
Yeah, good morning. My name's Joe Rothrock. I'm the special agent in charge of the Dallas FBI Field Office. I want to first start by thanking our partners in local law enforcement, specifically the Dallas Police Department, for their quick and timely response. I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence. It is unfortunately just the most recent example we've seen of targeted violence, to include here in North Texas, where back on July 4th, we saw a coordinated attack carried out against an immigration detention center in Alvarado, Texas. What I can also share with you is that early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature. Again, this is just the most recent example of this type of attack. This will be a whole of government response. There will be no resource not utilized to bring all those individuals who are responsible to bring them to justice and to hold them accountable. While we're not releasing identities of any victims at this time, what I can confirm for you is no members of law enforcement were hurt during this attack. If any member of the public has information that would help the FBI's investigation, I would ask that you please report that to 1-800-CALL-FBI. Again, any piece of information will be helpful, but this will be an ongoing investigation between us, a number of federal partners, and our local partners, again, to ensure that anyone responsible is held accountable. With that, I will turn it over to my counterpart from the ICE Enforcement and Removal Office.
Good morning. My name is Joshua Johnson. I'm the acting field office director for ICE Dallas.
Before I get into this, because I already played that earlier, if you want to see it, rewind the video. But I want to go into something Eddie Griffith said about a lot of these things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something going on. Okay. And I don't want to, I'm just going to play what he said. And I don't want to just report it and showing stuff and then just, I want to show other stuff too. So let's go into what Eddie Griffith said. Here we go.
Was gunned down in Utah. Y'all attacking the wrong no chaser. Let's get right to it. Charlie Kirk was gunned down in Utah. Y'all attacking the wrong motherfuckers. We didn't have shit to do with that. That was a white shooter shooting a white man. So y'all need to go and figure it out amongst yourselves. But y'all falling for the okie doke. They trying to kick off a race war. Duh. Don't fall for the shit. Niggas didn't have shit to do with Charlie Kirk's death. Didn't have shit to do with them 600 motherfucking kids getting rounded up and shipped to Guatemala. Lawyers had to stay up all night on a Sunday and get a judge to motherfucking okay for them planes to land and them kids to go back home to their families. We don't have a whole lot of shit to do with a whole lot of shit other than killing each other. All the white people that are shutting down the HBCU schools because we didn't have shit to do with the sniping and shooting of Charlie Kirk. That's just retarded. You hated niggas from the jump street. You just needed a reason. And I don't even know why you gonna blame us for his death. Huh? The fuck? Y'all need to go and find somebody white and take it out. This is white on white crime. See, when niggas shoot another nigga, we go hunt niggas. We don't go hunt somebody white because y'all don't even live in our neighborhood. So nigga, I got shot by a nigga, I'm gonna hunt a nigga. Y'all got shot by somebody white, y'all need to go out in the woods, a couple of the trailer parks and hunt him down. And leave us up out of y'all shit. HBCUs, those are quality young black children who are trying to get a fucking education to add to the fabric of this motherfucking country called America. But y'all just want to shut them down. Why? Because they getting an education? Are you too dumb to get an education? So I'm gonna just go shoot a motherfucker for being smart. Y'all need to go and figure y'all shit out and leave us the fuck up out of it. We'll be right back out after this commercial break. Turn the temperature down in this country. Turn the temperature down. I dug a little deeper. Why did a private jet take off from a private airport 12 minutes from the shooting with this radar illegally turned off for 20 minutes after the assassination? It's gaslighting. They're trying to charge up. They want a race war. They want mayhem in the streets. We know that this is a professional hit. There was a clear spotter in the back that grabbed his hat twice. And that's a signal for a sniper to, And then somebody judged the distance, checked the arm, and come right up to Charlie's neck.
How many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence?
Clearly, those are signals by two men to someone in front of them.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
It was a professional hit. They seen somebody crawling on the roof, and then, they just found some old wrinkled up man and said he did it. Oh, yeah, okay. So he can carry a high-powered rifle and shoot and all that shit. And he yelling out, kill me, kill me, kill me. Who does that? Unless he's a paid actor. There's a play going on, y'all. Just hear me out. There's a play. There's too much shit happening at one time. Somebody is trying to kick off martial law. Somebody is trying to lock this country down. Be careful what you ingest. Some of this shit is paid actors. Everybody keeps telling me that it's real. This young lady was stabbed to death on this train. But the shit that was fucking with me, how come none of them women went over and helped her after the dude got off the train? Do they see that shit every day? I mean, what the fuck was that about? That's what makes me feel like those were bought and paid for actors. If he's stabbing her in the neck, I didn't see no blood until she fell on the floor. Then there's a big old puddle of blood. Everybody that was on that train did nothing. They acted like what they were, extras. I'm telling you, we're being played. It's a movie. They trying to lock down this motherfucking country. Do not buy into the motherfucking bullshit.
And I just want to leave it at that. So back to the coverage of the shooting.
I'll be brief with my comments, but I do want to start off by saying thank you to the Dallas Police Department, Dallas FBI, HSI, CBP, ATF, and virtually every law enforcement officer in North Texas for your support. This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities. And I think that the takeaway from all of this is that the rhetoric has to stop. There are people out there who are seeing what is being placed online, and they're coming and they're doing acts of violence against ICE employees. So that's kind of all I have for today, is that it's just got to stop. It's dangerous.
But they weren't ICE employees, though. That's the part that I'm like, it's bothering me. They're not ICE employees. What is he talking about?
And people are losing their lives. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming.
An initial review of the evidence shows an ideological motive behind this attack. See photo. One of the unspent shell casings recovered was engraved with the phrase anti-ICE. More updates will be forthcoming. Director Patel says these despicable, politically motivated attacks against law enforcement are not a one-off. We are only miles from Prairie Land, Texas, where just 2 months ago an individual ambushed a separate ICE facility, targeting their officers. It has to end, and the FBI and our partners will lead these investigative efforts to see to it that those who target our law enforcement are pursued and brought to the fullest extent of justice. Thankfully, no law enforcement personnel were injured. Please pray for the injured and deceased. Multiple outlets report, by the way, that the people shot were all detainees, which makes sense given that they weren't law enforcement. But officials have not confirmed they were detainees, and they did not confirm it in the press conference that they were detainees. But they did confirm no law enforcement was shot. So that is the picture of what Kash Patel says is one of the unspent shell casings engraved with the phrase anti-ICE. Oh, hold on a second here. Give me a moment. Give me one moment. Give me one moment.
So they're going to put anti-ICE, but not shoot any law enforcement. I'm trying to understand what's going on here. What is going on? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Hang on.
Not a Sharpie. I am Mama. Oh, they have.
I haven't seen.
Not to be laughing. This is not funny, but
further updates, official updates. I'm looking. Let me just show you that photo again. That is the photo there from Kash Patel.
honey, it don't look engraved. It don't look. What are we doing here? What is this? Like somebody wrote something with a pen on it. And why is it always engraving on the bullets? This is the second time we've seen it in bullet engraved in something. Is there some other time?
By the way, another story I want to update you on. Manny Fabian, who is with Times of Israel, reports that a hospital in Eilat is treating around 20 people wounded. There were over 20 people reported wounded in a drone attack in southern Israel in Eilat, which was reportedly a Houthi drone from Yemen. So I'm keeping an eye on that story as well.
See what I'm saying? Like they'll have one story going about this, and this is going to be everywhere. This is how you can know a psychological operation, you guys, right? This story is everywhere, right? Meanwhile, all this other weird stuff is going on, drone attacks, this, that, the other, going on other places, right? So that's not going to get the headline, but this is the big thing. And the story is not adding up, guys. As far as I'm concerned, it's not adding up.
We're not going to focus on that right now, but I wanted to update you on that.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think this might be like.
In terms of who the shooter is, the only thing I've seen that I feel comfortable passing along is an unconfirmed report from Carol Markowicz, who has a decent record with these kind of things. She seems to have some good sources. Carol is a columnist with the New York Post and Fox News. And she said that, if I can find it here. Now, why can't I pull this up? Let's see. I know she said it because I saw it. Carol Markowicz, K-A-R-O-L, said the alleged shooter is Joshua Jahn, J-A-H-N, 29 years old. Now, I cannot confirm that report. But again, she does have a good track record. So Carol Markowicz is reporting that the alleged shooter is Joshua Jan, Jahn, 29 years old. But that is not confirmed. That is not a confirmed report from law enforcement.
I'm about to divert this whole thing because it's interesting, right? So we have our news, right? But in India, okay, the name is Joshua Jan, Jahn, right? That's an Indian name. That's Indian, right? So in the Hindustan Times, right? Let me show you this. Who was Joshua Jan, Dallas ICE facility mass shooting suspect? 29-year-old Joshua Jan. See, when we're over here getting spun, other countries are reporting what's really going on. And I think it's sad that we can't even rely on our own news to tell us what's really happening. So somehow they already got a whole story about this guy all in their newspaper right now about who he was and everything. But we're over here, we're not sure who it is. So I'm trying to figure out, why do they know who it is in India, in New Delhi? And we over here like, oh no, we haven't, we're not sure who it is. We don't know who they did it, blah, blah, blah. So Joshua Jan, 29 years old, the shooting left one person deceased and 2 others injured. But that's been changed according to authorities. Okay, it was deceased from an apparent self-inflicted. According to the Telegraph, Homeland Security has also examined the possibility the shots were fired from a nearby rooftop. So let's see if they actually get in. So but they have his name, Joshua Jan. Okay, now this is actually Jahn. That's an interesting name, and it's already being reported in the Indian news. So I just wanted to show how our news will be like not reporting everything, but then you go to another country and they will be already giving the name out and everything. But over here, we're slow with it. They did that story about with his name and everything, so it's just interesting.
That claim to show the body of the shooter, which I'm obviously not going to show. There are photos floating around claiming to show him claiming to show the body of the shooter. And again,
let me go a little further. So this is the building that he was on top of. Guys, you know what I'm gonna do?
Maybe it's set on the scanner, but I don't know.
This is crazy.
We might in a moment go back and listen to the scanner feed. Well, I don't know if I have access to the scanner feed from that time. I'll have to look.
You know who else is talking about this is Night and Day. Let me see what they're, because sometimes, let's go into what Night and Day is saying. Let's see if they have it.
Irish Sweetness says, will there be another presser? I don't know. I do not know if there will be another presser. Maybe there'll be another one later today.
Great Blackness says they've been lying to us since the beginning. You keep digging and the lies will keep coming and you will realize that you are in the Truman Show. I believe so too, guys. It's a lot to unpack.
Buckley thinks this is incredibly suspicious. Shazaro says the released pictures are gruesome. Oh, is this? I think I have another. I think I have more video. Do I have more video? Hey, I have an overhead shot. I have an overhead shot right now for you. Live shot coming up. Overhead shot. Hold on a second. Hold on. This is live. This is live. This is live. Live footage. That's the place. This is via AP. That's it. That's the facility. Live. Dallas. Oops. Dallas, Texas. Via AP. Live helicopter shot for you. So that is the facility. I don't know which route. You can see there's apartments next to it, closer to us. Oops. Let me just do this real quick. I got to get rid of that ticker. The ticker's old. Don't ignore the ticker, please. Ignore the ticker. The ticker is old. But you are looking at a live shot via AP. I think it's no audio on the shot. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. One moment, though. We cannot show this anymore. It was confusing. So originally we had the AP footage, and we're allowed to show it. The restrictions just changed on the AP shot. So for the moment, I cannot show you the helicopter shot anymore.
Wow.
Let me just look into this.
You know, I'm going to switch from here to night and day and see what they're reporting, because, you know, he's trying to get more information. But, you know, shouts out to his channel is called Agenda Free, and I like his channel a lot. So
Still blocking off that area near the scene. We have Fox 4 reporter Shannon Murray, who can give us a better look at exactly what that crime scene is looking like as the investigation unfolds. Messages that seemed to be against ICE in some way. We are still hoping to learn more about that and who this person was. But for now, all we can see is that this is definitely a key part of their investigation, is focusing on this area. We know that shooter, that sniper, had a rifle and fired from the rooftop. 2 ICE detainees died, a third in critical condition, taken to the hospital early this morning. This shooting all happening here at the ICE facility in Dallas off Stemmons Freeway just after 6:30 this morning. So we will continue following this. We have several crews, of course, on the ground here following different scenes and covering, of course, that news conference early this morning, waiting for updates. And we will, of course, get back to you guys with any further information here on air and online. Hannah, I'll send it back to you. All right, Shannon, thank you. And we just now heard from producers. I want to make sure we get this correct. Gabby, could you repeat what you just said?
2 are dead.
2 dead,
including the shooter.
Including the shooter. Okay, so no update from what we heard in the news conference.
Correct.
I do want to talk about the ammo that was recovered at the scene. We just spoke about it. Now I'm able to see more clearly just a little bit about this investigation at the Texas ICE facility, killing 1, wounding several others before then taking his own life. The shooter, that is. FBI, DHS, and the ATF all assisting in this investigation. And now we have a better look at that ammo that authorities said they recovered from the scene. This coming from the FBI director.
Listen, you know what? You want to know why I don't think this is right? Because this is disingenuous. Because they have not tested the ammo that was shot off or found any casing, but they're showing this. Why would they show that right now? It's too early. They're going to show that, and then they're going to say that this is the thing that we found. That's weird to me. That's weird. We didn't see any ammunition from the Charlie Kirk situation until days later, but now you're showing this immediately. This is weird, y'all. You don't think this is weird?
I briefly had it, but I'm asking about it right now.
And now they're blocking the aerial footage for the helicopter footage. The AP is. So it's a lot going on, you guys. This is really crazy.
It's they get their coverage from local providers, and for different shots, it's different restrictions. All right. So I'm not sure, but maybe I'll eventually get permission to show that again.
And I just want to say this. How is the FBI director putting this out on Twitter? Isn't that like kind of like not good for an investigation to put to show this? Like, what is going on? Like, isn't there protocol on how you release information? Do you just put this thing out and say, okay, here we go? You know, at what point? But all right, so Jerry said they just don't want to admit that the guy was negative, making up all kind of ish. Okay, right. It's unverifiable evidence, but it's not facts, right? So why would the FBI director put out a picture of shell casings without doing the research first? This is too quick to put this out, you know? They don't know where this came from. This could have been just a thing to throw you off. Like, why would they put this out before they investigate to even make sure this is even come from the same situation? It could have been who knows? I don't know. But I think it's really interesting. The person shot people that were not officers, but then anti-ICE. So if you're anti-ICE, why are you shooting detainees? Like, that's weird. This whole thing is just a very strange. There's a lot of strange stuff going on, guys. I don't know what the end goal is, or what the plan, or what they're trying to do, but yeah, this is really strange. You know, it's really strange. Let's get back to Agenda Free. I like his news channel, so let's go. So he finally has a feed. He's able to show.
This is from WFAA via AP. So police actually, we just saw them on top of that building. And is that car? What's with that car? There's a car with air. Is that possibly a suspect's car or not? I don't know. So we are seeing police right now on this live shot in this adjacent building. And at some point I don't even know which building that, I'm trying to look and figure out which building that is. That is the building. I want to be sure about this. I don't think that's the apartment complex. The apartment complex is kind of new. Is that the one right next to it? I'm trying to figure it out. At some point they'll pan around and we'll confirm exactly where this is in relation to the shooting scene. Back into the left of the parking lot. Hold on. One of our, is that it? Oh, yes, you're right. Our viewer is correct. This is the building directly across the parking lot, thanks to the viewer. This is the building. It is it's the building right here. I think the address is 1120 Empire Central Place. But this building is across the parking lot from the, there's a big parking lot in front of the ICE facility. And this building is across the parking lot. You'll see it right now, I bet. But there's all these police over at this. I mean, you can see ATF is there. but again, there's like a long parking lot in front of the ICE building. And then there's this building. And directly on the other side of that parking lot, and police are on the roof. So that looks to be where the shooter was. We are looking at this live shot right now. One of the offices in there, I believe, is Abogado Manuel Solis, who, I'm looking at Google Maps. You can see the sign there. That's an office. Look at all the police cars there. So nobody's saying that that lawyer was involved with this, but that appears to be at least one of the tenants of that building appears to be that lawyer, because there's a sign there and I see it on Google Maps. But again, this building, we see police, a lot of police at the building. We see police on the roof of the building. And this building is at the end of, I bet you're going to see it right here. It's at the end of a parking lot. So it's in the, so there's the parking lot right there. See, there's the immigration facility right there. We just saw it. So that's the ICE facility. The distance between this building and the ICE facility is roughly about 500 feet. It's roughly 500 feet between this building and the ICE facility. Helicopter footage in Dallas shows police on the roof and around a building across the parking lot from the ICE field office. Distance, building is about 500 feet away. Seems like this could be where shooter was. And now look at this. This is the ICE facility here. You're looking at the ICE facility right now. Is that the area where the shots happened? Right there. So was the van in there, and that's where the shooter shot into that? Did the shooter shoot into like a secure area there? There was reporting that said the shooter shot into a secure area. So again, look at this. There's the facility, and to the right is the building the police are at. So there is the facility right here. That's the ICE facility. And then there's this parking lot here. And then to the right, you can't see it, but to the right is where that building where police were on the roof. Again, that building here, we'll see it now. We're going to see it right now. ICE on the left, and then on the right, well, it's off the screen to the right, but on the right is the building that police were on the roof. We'll see where my pointer is. It's going to come into view right here. It's on Google Maps, I looked, it's about 500 feet away. So again, ICE building on the left right here, and right here, right where my pointer is, police are on the roof or have been on the roof of that building right there. So it appears that the shooter may have been on the roof of this building, firing across the parking lot at the ICE facility. Wow. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but we saw police on top of this building right here, And the ICE facility is right here. That's what it looks to be like. We can see police there right now. I think you can see on the live shot police still standing up there right there, if I'm seeing that correctly. We saw them there before, right there. Oh, and the vans would be on the side. I see. So look on the side here. You see there's this enclosed area on the side where the vans are. See, look at all the police over here. Wow. So there's the police on the roof. Look at this. They're collecting evidence live. Police are collecting evidence, and then looks like on the side of that FBI, side of that ICE building, there's a enclosed area with no roof where vans are. So that's what it looks like. We are seeing live FBI collecting evidence on this roof and a huge law enforcement presence at that building. There's also a car that's in front of the building with the hood up. I don't know if that's a suspect car or not. See that car right there? Is that the suspect's car next to the stairs? Right there. Are we looking at the suspect's car? Cristiano said it looked like he just picked up a shell casing on the roof. But this is very helpful video to have. Again, this is possibly the suspect's car. And you know, the Charlie Kirk shooting, if I remember right, was a person on a roof with a rifle roughly 500 feet away. And this shooting appears to be a person on a roof, I don't know with what kind of weapon, roughly 500 feet away. There's a parking lot there. So right here on the ICE facility on the left is where these vans are. I think it looks like maybe the person shot from the building down to that enclosed area, but with no roof on it on the left, right where my pointer is. You can't see it right now, but there's vans over here. Lauren says possibly a copycat action. Yeah, I don't know, but did this person in any way think of doing this or patterned this in some way or planned it in some way after what the Charlie Kirk shooter did? Now, also, the shooter who shot at President Trump last year at the rally was on a rooftop. So you're looking live at that ICE facility, and then on the right, if the camera comes around, you'll see that that area that looks like a secure area on the right of the building where several vans are there, and that may be where the shooter shot down into, this area. Wow. Right here. See the vans? One of these vans might have been hit. Right there. Right there. Is that the van that was hit? Right there. Maybe maybe the van on the right is the one that was actually hit. I don't know. But there is one of those vans is open, multiple doors open. I can't see it well enough to see if there's bullet holes in it. But you see that van right there is open. Yeah, no police tape, said James A. Well, something I'm wondering is if it's a secure facility, you don't need police tape because people will know not to go. You know, you don't have to worry about the public going into the scene because there's no public can't go into that place. You know, another thing is it is lucky that nobody else was shot. The direction of the shooting apparently was from the building on the left towards there's a highway, there's an interstate right here. You can see behind the ICE facility. So if that person had missed and gone wide, they could have hit somebody, for example, driving on the highway, not to mention all the other buildings in the area. There's looks like an apartment complex nearby, but literally right behind that ICE facility is that interstate. All right, look at this. So that is that secure area with, and is on the left. Is that the van that was shot at on the left, right there? I don't know, but that appears to possibly be the area where the shooting happened. Winding Road says, if he's anti-ICE, why would he shoot at detained immigrants? So look, I can't confirm he's anti-ICE. Kash Patel posted what he said was one of the bullets, one of the unspent shell casings that had the word anti-ICE on it. I don't know if he was targeting anyone. I mean, you could imagine someone wanting to target ICE and just shooting at the building or shooting at some van he saw and happens to hit detainees. I don't know. I can't speak to the motive, but it's not outlandish to think that the person could have been targeting ICE, but just started firing at the building and firing at a van he saw, not knowing who he would hit. So I don't know. We do not know about the motive, about the specificity with somebody was targeting, what they knew they were shooting at. Don't know right now. But that building right here on the right, there you go, is the one that police are on the roof of collecting evidence. And that is the ICE facility. And it appears that the police are focusing on the corner of this building here, which would have a angle to shoot right into that area where the vans are, right there on the right. Now I'm in front of it there, but right here where my pointer is, where those vans are. And also, you know what? This happened at around 6:40 in the morning. This was very early in the morning when this happened. And possibly on the right, you're looking at one of the vans that was hit. If one of the reports from Fox Dallas said a van was hit. We're bringing you live coverage here. Very helpful helicopter footage to give you a picture of what the scene is and possibly where the shooting happened specifically and where the shooting was coming from. Right there, look, all right, so police, there it is. There's a bunch of police at this building. That car very well might be the suspect's car. We keep seeing the helicopter focus on it. We see a lot of police there. Police are on the roof of that building as well. Look at that. Maybe the officers have pulled the hood up. Multiple officers there by that car. Oh yeah, I mean, one of our viewers said that they said maybe he climbed the stairs to get on the roof. Yeah, I mean, that would certainly suggest itself, if that's his car, that it's right next to the staircase. Now, what is that on the right? Is that a scooter? I don't know what that is. What am I looking at on the right next to the car, guys? Is it a scooter? I mean, also, could he have taken a scooter over there? So maybe that's not his car. We're seeing a scooter next to the car. That's the first I've seen that. So I don't know if that's the car, but I see a scooter. So, it's possible that the car is not the shooter's car and the shooter took a scooter over there. Although, was the gate open? Is there a place to scoot in there? I don't know. Huge police presence at that building. Yeah, there was some sort of white thing on the car, a sign or something. I'm not sure. And as you can see, now the camera is panning up to the ICE facility, and on the right is where those vans are. And again, my guess, I'm not sure. My guess is that is where the shooting took place, or that is where the people were shot. Possibly that van that's open there in the back is the one that was shot at, but we don't know for sure. Yeah, that building has an immigration lawyer in the building. So on the roof there, we have seen police up on that roof. They're not there right now. About a few minutes ago, we saw police on that roof collecting evidence of that building. Thank you, by the way, too. See, there's a scooter behind that car, by the way. We're seeing another officer over there now. Hold on. Thank you to the Vladinator. The Vladinator thinks there's a risk of martial law being declared by President Trump soon regarding all the extremist violence. I mean, I do. I think it's a fair question to say, if the authorities determine that they believe this is they're saying they're investigating this as anti-ICE, could there be new actions taken by federal law enforcement? That I don't know. I haven't heard President Trump comment on this. I will let you know when we do, if it's on while we're on the air. Thank you, Vladinator. Thank you to Antoine. 32 Antoine says, let's see if the used shell casings match the ones Kash Patel posted. Maybe anti-ICE ammo were planted by the Trump administration, says 32 Antoine. Thank you, Lukava Avatane, by the way. And Aaron and McLean 33. McLean 33 thinks it's either a copycat or a government setup. Thanks to Flint, Mom's Mealtime Magic, Robert Douglas, Jiggle Jess, Daniel Cardenas, Mama 457 Rose, Bella Rose, Actually Dan, viewer whose name I can't really read because it's symbols, exclamation points. Sydney Howard Lintz, Leon Yoder, thank you. Also Festiva. A big presence there now. Police, you can see at this building. They are looking at that car. There's a scooter next to the car. This is the building. We've seen police on the roof. It appears to me, it appears, I think this is, I'm going to guess this is going to end up being the building where the shooting was coming from. But we've seen police on the roof collecting evidence. We've seen police on the ground, as you can see right there near that car and scooter. That is about 500 feet away, roughly, from the FBI, from the ICE office, across a parking lot. All kinds of police presence at that building. Also, thanks to NekoJita1169 on Twitch.
Wow, that's
and right there is the. I know I'm repeating myself,
that
but
is
just for you who
awful.
haven't
That's
seen it,
awful.
that is the
That
ICE
is awful.
field office, and on the right is a secure area where the vans are, and that might have been where a van. That might have been where people were shot, possibly in a van. On the right there, and that's that parking lot, and on the left is the building. There you go. I mean, that's the two buildings that the helicopter is focused on, and for good reason, because there's so much police presence at the building on the left.
I mean, it's a lot to unpack here. Suki says that, it's supposed to be ICE, but they're taking everybody, even those diagnosed with autism. They tried to take my autistic cousin from school. Yeah, I know, but since we got Native American blood in us, they couldn't send him to a camp. I mean, that is terrible. As James said, he asked what the name ICE, what does it stand for? It stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Yeah, like this is a very, very weird subject. Look, he said they just stand around like the road construction crew. So dictator J.R. Vance have already come out saying this was a targeted event versus ICE agents. See, there's so much misinformation about this, and I'm gonna let this simmer, guys. I've been here for like 2 hours, kind of like going over, like letting you guys hear what's going on. I'm gonna let this simmer for a few hours, and we're gonna see what gets susses out. And I'm gonna about 6 o'clock come back, and then we're going to see what they came up with. How about that? Because there's something fishy here. I'm not believing. I don't get where you have detainees get shot and then they say it's an attack against the ICE officers. They're trying to use other situations where people were directly attacking ICE officers and then trying to use those things in comparison to this. But the problem is that no officers were shot, right? And then they're using this bullet casing that the FBI director is showing. But if you actually read what he actually said, and I quote, "This morning, just before 7 a.m. local time, an individual fired multiple rounds at a Dallas, Texas ICE facility, killing one, wounding several others before taking his own life. FBI, DHS, ATF are on the ground with Dallas PD, state authorities. While the investigation is ongoing, an initial review of the evidence shows an ideological motive behind this attack. See photo below. One of the unspent shell casings recovered was engaged in the phrase anti-ICE. More updates will be forthcoming." Now, here's the thing. What is up with this new carving of shell cases and leaving behind shell cases, right? So the same thing happened in the Charlie Kirk situation where shell cases were left behind, right? So now in that situation, there were things written onto those shell cases. So is this copycat stuff where they're all just using the same tactics, using the shell casing, writing on it, and doing the same thing? How are they all doing different type of things and then doing the same shell case, carving things in the shell case and leaving behind shell casings of the bullets for the FBI to suddenly recover? So it says these despicable, politically motivated attacks against law enforcement. Now, I'm not seeing the attack against law enforcement. No one in law enforcement got attacked. So I think that people are spinning this to what they want it to be, but I don't really see, because I guess it says anti-ICE, right? So, okay, now if it's an anti-ICE and maybe one law enforcement was shot, okay, because he probably was shooting wildly and caught some people that was innocent but was really attacking the law enforcement. But if everybody gets shot, and this guy's using a sniper type of level thing, where you can look into the scope and get your target almost exactly. If you're doing that, and here's the thing, it says, so here's these despicable politically motivated attacks against law enforcement are not a one-off. We are only miles from Prairieland, Texas, where just 2 months ago an individual was ambushed at a separate ICE facility targeted their officers. So it was their officers, not the actual detainees. It has to end, and the FBI and our partners will lead these investigation efforts to see to it that those who target our law, this is ridiculous. Our law enforcement, no mention of the people that were. So I think it's very what is the name? I don't even know what the word is. Like, that they are just completely ignoring the families of the immigrants who got killed during the situation, and they're focusing on law enforcement and not that the fact that these people were not law enforcement. So now it becomes, their stories get just muted, and now it becomes an attack against law enforcement, and you don't have to tell the story of the people that were actually. So we'll see if later on it comes out that the people were actually in fact law enforcement. This seems like a exercise to me, because of the stories are just too all over the place, and they have to they just exercise gone wrong, where they didn't even have like the stories how they was going to come out with yet. Because why are we focusing on law enforcement when nobody in law enforcement? He says, thankfully, no law enforcement personnel was injured. So why are we talking about law enforcement? Why is it this whole thing said law enforcement about 5-6 times, and nobody in law enforcement was hurt? So why are we talking about law enforcement when it was the actual detainees that was hurt in this situation? And if you're anti-ICE, why are you shooting the people that the ICE is bringing in? Something is strange here. I'm not sure. And why is it the same copycat thing with the shell casings being left behind? All this stuff. So there's something to this, I'm sure they're going to try to tie it to the left in some way, because they're trying to create this whole right versus left narrative, and they're really trying to incite like a civil unrest, and I hope that the Hispanic community and the immigrant community does not try to come together and start to do marches and stuff around the ICE facility and create like an even more like volatile situation. I hope that they are strategic in that sense, because that's what they want you to do. It's almost like they're trying to create a trigger to like start off some stuff. And I think that this is like a little triggering thing, and then you have like your community people that come, oh, we need to go up there and protest what happened because of whatever. And next thing you know, now there's some more situations. Now it gets heated. Now there's a whole thing. Because right now, even though the people that are deceased are not law enforcement, they are focusing on the law enforcement aspect of it. That the fact that it happened in a law enforcement facility, that even the people that were targeted, so it overshadows that. It makes it about law enforcement. It takes the story away from the people that actually got murdered, and may they all rest in peace, and their families, listen, we have been spending this whole week talking about Charlie Kirk's situation. Now we have innocent people that were just detained by ICE, and now they have lost their lives, right? And somehow they're going to tie it into some left versus right conversation, when these are human beings that have children and families that love them. We need to stop with this lukewarm and like just cold-hearted way that we are actually seeing these things that are being brought about, because a lot of this stuff I believe are psychological operations. I think Eddie Griffin is right. I think some of this stuff is acting, because there's no way that these stories are being so convoluted and this early in the situation. It seems to me, even with the Charlie Kirk situation, like there were a lot of like speculative things, but you didn't see actual law enforcement actually come out and make statements this quick in the situation. It's 11:43. They began talking at like what, damn near 10:30, and the thing happened 4 hours ago. How long did it take for them to even say anything about what was really going on? Even though they took them a second to find Charlie Kirk's assailant, but okay, but still they had to do some more. You can't just jump right into just showing the case. We haven't even seen the Charlie. It took them a long time to show those casings. Like, this is like happening 4 hours later. This is strange to me that they're showing this 49 minutes ago. This happened at almost 7 o'clock in the morning. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Less than 4 hours. You're already showing casings and don't have no research. Y'all haven't done no taken it to a lab, did some fingerprints on it, see who wrote it. Nothing. How are you showing this quickly? Just something weird about this, and I don't agree with how this thing is going. It's strange. But yeah, I'm going to I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna like recover this, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video. Please subscribe so you can see it when I come back on. There's something weird going on, guys. I don't trust it. Can't trust it. If I wish I could play Public Enemies, can't trust it, because you can't trust it. Something is weird, and I don't believe it. Oh, thank you. Love your interview with Chief and Unk. Yes. If you pay attention to the small details, exactly. At Suki, Erica had Charlie deleted. There's X tapes of Kirk banging the baby sister. See, I don't know about all that. We're not going to go into that. Okay. Is this your theory? My theory is that I don't believe nothing that people say until they've done real research. And like, how do you just go up and find shell cases and then put them on the news? That's propaganda. You haven't done you are the law enforcement. There's supposed to be an investigation. How do you just throw this up on the news that quickly? Throw it up on Twitter. What kind of FBI director is throwing things up on Twitter 4 hours before after it happens, with no background check investigation, no fingerprints taken, nothing? They haven't even said who the person was yet. This is strange behavior for our like Federal Bureau of Investigations. That's not the way that law enforcement should behave. Showing this right away and not having any true evidence of anything, because they want to get in front of the story. And that to me tells me it's propaganda. They are trying to get ahead of things and trying to control the narrative so much that they're making mistakes. They're trying to influence the audience. Exactly. Propaganda equals influence. Exactly. They're trying to make sure that the narrative of, oh, okay, well, it could have been a right-wing person that's shooting like immigrants or whatever. They get in front of that. They don't want people to pile up over there to that ICE office and start protesting and raising hell. So they're going to make it a thing against law enforcement when ain't no law enforcement was hurt. It was ICE detainees that were hurt. That according to what they're saying. So how do you jump from ICE detainees to like they need to stop attacking law enforcement when nobody in law enforcement was hurt? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've been here for 2 hours covering this. I'm going to just wait it out and then come back on when there's more concrete evidence. I don't like to just sit up here and speculate and have people are at work that they got stuff to do. I'm not going to just keep your attention just to get clicks and views. I'm going to come back up here when I have concrete evidence. I'm going to possibly also bring if I can get Attorney Calvin on to really get a legal perspective of what and how this whole thing is being handled, because I think it's very strange that the FBI director is showing shell casings and there has been no investigation, and he's showing that 3 hours after they find it. That's crazy to me. That is not professional, and it's emotional and preemptive. It's not emotional because they can't do anything like that. They can't. It's preemptive. To me, it's manipulative to show that. And then, what I'm saying? Because you don't even know if these are the shell casings that came out the gun, if they purposely placed that there as a throw off. No investigation has been done. There should be no reason why these shell casings are being showed. So And that's as a person that has worked in the military, you know what I'm saying, and law enforcement. So, all right. Well, with all that being said, much love. Thank you guys for 12 left wing in Texas last week. Yes, you know, I mean, a lot. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. The political climate is very, very frightening and scary. And I pray for this country because it's a lot of people, you know, it's a lot of kids living here and people, mothers and everything like that. And like the fact that people are trying to call for like civil war, that they really want to push this whole civil war narrative. You know, they really want to fight. They want to use those AKs that they got stored in their little storage bin. They've been waiting for anarchy for the longest. Like this whole group of people that are like, you know, militias and all these people, they have been begging for it. You know, they want to use that. They want to fight. And it's like, listen, bro, I don't want to fight. I'm a mother. I take care of my kids. I bring them to school. Why do y'all want civil unrest and anarchy so bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think is going to happen? And what do you think you're going to get out of that? You know? So, and as much evidence as we've seen in other countries of how that really destroys a country and brings them into utter poverty, why would you want that? You know? So, there's something going on here, and I just haven't quite put my finger on it. And I just want to thank you guys so far for watching. And please like and subscribe, guys, because I got more content coming. I did ask you guys to join the conversation. Nobody hit the link, okay? So I did put the link up. Now, if anybody wants to say something before I go, I'm going to like offer that one more last time. Here is the link. And I'll stay about 1 more minute before I leave off of that. But if you want to come up and make a statement, come on, do it. But yeah, this is a crazy situation because, you know, that, you know, I passed by that place, you know, that's not that far from where I live. So it's hitting home. Like, what the heck is going on? The end of days. Okay. The end of whose days, though? See, I don't really believe it. I don't get like caught up in like the spooky, what's it called? Like the whole ideal of what is it called? Where, you know, the end of all times and all this stuff. The end of days have happened for many people over time. I mean, hell, it could be the end of it's the end of a lot of people day to day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have an end of day at every different. You know, so everybody got different ends of days. You know. So I don't really believe in this whole like belief of an end of the days where, you know, and if it is, you know, hey, ain't no we can do about it anyway. It's the end of days, you know. They have planned for this way beyond what we've planned. So what the hell can we do about it? If it's the end of days that they're planning for, they are 10 miles and months and years before us. They have planned this out so far of the end of the day that what's the point? But I don't really believe in the end of days, like that there's one group of people that can like just end it for the whole world. I don't believe that. Because I believe in the creator, and I don't think anything on this earth is more powerful than the creator. So why would the creator let any human being have that much power to do that? So yeah, even a spirit, if the creator of everything is as all omnipotent and all seeing and all knowing, why would any of its creation be able to end anything that without its sanction, you know? So that's a whole nother story. We can have that conversation. Hit me up on IG, and if you want to debate that, we can do that. So I gotta get out of here. Much love, guys, and I'm in the stream right now. Much love. Peace.